Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. Happy to be with you. And, CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
On first down, it's Locke. Forced out to his left. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And at the end of it, he stripped. Ball comes loose. And this is going to go the other way. The defense has it.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the...
Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Brandon Mebane breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. The give is to Elliott. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. To throw is Locke. And he fires one, but incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, Ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or, even worse, an interception.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Muscles him off. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Love. Flush to his right. Finding room inside the 40. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 51 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his hook.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stopped.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Love. And Robinson with a big catch. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Luck on 1st down. A dump off to Elliott. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. they become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Luck. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
To throw on 2nd down is Luck. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Samson Abukum in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Austin Hooper from 4 yards out. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Two minutes to play here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Luck now on 2nd down. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. Now Luck says let's get going as he'll hustle him to the line. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Back to throw, Luck. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Luck. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to you.
And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just a call. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On 1st down, Luck. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thompson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And it is now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a 1st down throw. Luck. And Josh Hill has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. The tight end, Josh Hill, was the target, and it's 3rd and short. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Elliott. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. From the gun, here's Love. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Elliott. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 1st and 10, Locke. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Luck now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Luck. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Now Luck. This is caught. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Josh Hill, 26 yards. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. So now here's Luck as his guys will go for 2 here. Here's Luck. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion.
Brandon Cooks. He's at the 50, 30, 10.
Let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward?
Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And it worked his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run with Elliott. Escapes the defender. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They'll try the air now with Locke. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Back now here on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll give to Elliott, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Running with Elliott. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. A first down carry by Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Throwing is Locke. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the 13-time Pro Bowler Ray Lewis. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, it's Locke. He's got Thompson here, complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10, as they've got things rolling on this drive. Luck now to throw. being chased out left. Over the middle, complete. It's Lindsey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. On first down, it's Love. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
2nd and 10, Luck again. Wide open receiver, complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because
trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the 13-time Pro Bowler Ray Lewis.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here's Luck. Flush to his right. And finding the tight end Hooper. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
On 2nd and 10, Locke steps away to his left, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. A shotgun snap for Locke. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Luck on first down. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The 15 yards there on the catch and run. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the...
And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lindsey. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Luck going to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
From the 50, it's Long. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former Eagle, Brian Dawkins. Then he'll take it all the way out near the 30-yard line. Woods, the intended receiver.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep, and for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Will Parks. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on